Hello everybody, it's me, Jake, and today I'd like to ask a serious question. Honestly, what's the point of plunking out all this money for college? And the reason I'm asking this question is because, well, I see lots of people telling me that college is so great and that you should go to college based on their memories of it in the past. Well, as I've learned with stuff like video games, the memories of it don't always equal reality, especially not this year. And the reason for that is, well, let's take a look at the costs. With college, you're spending a shitload of money just to get an education. You're spending all this money thinking that maybe if you come out, you could become a successful doctor, a successful lawyer, a successful businessman, a successful engineer. You think that you could come out as somebody successful in numerous different fields. You think that you could come out as being a person who could, make lots of money, change the world for better. And what do you get instead? Well, first of all, let's look at the shit they make you take to get any sort of degree. These are what they call electives. Now, electives are like that episode of a TV show where nothing happens and that's only there to fill in the time slot and sell ads. You probably know what those are called. They're called filler episodes, and that is what an elective is like. Because electives, they force you to take these classes. Because if you don't, you can't get that big, flashy, shiny degree. And so what happens is you have to usually take some stuff. Some of it is maybe sort of relevant. I mean, like math class but then you got other classes like history class. I mean, why should I have to take a European history class just to learn how to install Gen 2? Or hack the planet? Or write code? Why should I have to take that to learn that? But it gets worse. You see, you got courses like gender studies, you've got courses about diversity, you've got courses about how bad drugs and alcohol are and whatnot. You got to take these mandatory courses. And some of these courses can border on indoctrination, or they straight up are indoctrination. I know because I've got a friend on Steam who goes to college, and he's told me about the shit that goes down, and it lines up perfectly with the kind of stuff you see people making YouTube videos about. There are these courses where they want to take impressionable young men and women and use them for whatever political agenda they can push. And that's what you've got these courses for. These courses exist solely to push this agenda down your throat. And you have to pay money for this. You can't just... It's not even free. You have to pay money for this shit. You have to pay money for these courses so you can get that big flashy degree. And it just gets worse. Case in point, let's just say you go to a community college instead of going to a big name college. You might have less diversity courses, but you're still going to be nowhere near that flashy job, especially when teachers don't show up to your class and treat it like a part-time job. Especially when teachers are like pushing opinions down your throat, or just blindly reading off the course material. I mean, all I want to do is get my gosh darn job and not have to listen to all this rambling shit, okay? I mean, many can probably agree with me. Many probably know, who've gone to college, know that this is what it's like now. And the thing is, what's the point of it if you're spending all this money? You're spending all this money to get lectured about how Karl Marx was right and how communism's all great and about how, and other shit that's not true. I mean, this is what you're spending money for. I mean, it's just a waste of money, waste of time, and what do I get out of it? You get debt. You get debt. You get all this student loan debt. Because instead of getting a nice job, you're having to work some job to pay off all this debt. Meanwhile, that baby boomer next to you on the highway is driving a Corvette, or a Mercedes-Benz AMG, or a BMW. And you'll never be able to do anything but lease that because, well, you're spending all your life paying off this student loan debt. That's what you're doing. Because they nail you up the ass with shit like books, okay? Books, they cost a ton of money. You're spending all this money just to get a textbook. And why? Because it's a great big racket, okay? It's a great big scam. And it's a scam, especially when they do shit like one-time use codes in the books. So you have to buy new books. You remember when people were flipping out about online passes and gaming and stuff a few years back? And they had to quit doing it? Well, textbooks are the same shit. And they can get away with it because you have to buy the textbook to complete the course. You can't just say, oh, I'm gonna like, I just want to, you know, not buy the book, because they pretty much require you to read the books in many of these classes. They're like, okay, kids, open up to your book. Oh, no, we don't have copies of this book. You have to buy your own. I mean, remember in middle school and high school where they let you borrow a book? Or they'd get like a stack of books out and you'd read from them. You don't do that in college. No, you just, all you do is you have to waste your own money, your own hard-earned money, on these expensive, overpriced ass books. That's what you have to do. It's like they're trying to make you poor with these expensive books. And I mean, if you're a rich person and you think it's bad, like struggling in the middle class neighborhood, having to spend all your extra money on the books, imagine what it must be like for somebody in poverty who's trying to like move ahead, and they go to college and they get suckered hard because of these expensive books. Imagine being that person in college. Just imagine being that person. Because here's the thing. It hits those people even more than it does people like, say, you or me. Because that's the thing. College rips people off. It deprives them of their money in the dream that maybe they'll get a better education. Maybe they'll get to actually get a job somewhere. Maybe they'll be able to actually get a job and maybe change humanity for the better. But no, instead you go to college, you end up ripped off big time. You end up depressed about everything, realizing that college isn't what you thought it was going to be, and instead it's just a great big racket to suck you out of your money and your self-esteem, because that's what college is. Oh, and did I mention about college? Here's another thing I love. One last thing I love about college, if I can't think of anything else. Another thing I love about college is the fact that once you spend all this money in the courses, you don't even get guaranteed employment in many of them. They'll set, like, sometimes they'll, if you get a co-op job, then you have better chances, but if you don't, well, good luck. You're on your own, trying to find a place that'll employ you. Better hope it's a good job and not some job that'll fire you over little shit like dongles, or because you looked somebody like in the wrong way. You better hope it's not one of those jobs. So yeah, this is what the reality is in America in 2016. Welcome to America. Go to college and try to get a job, and then either you get fired because of some stupid shit, or because your business decided, hey, let's outsource all our jobs, or import people who we can get away with paying less because they're so desperate to get paid in any way, shape, or form, and let's give them the job instead of you, who's lived in this country all your life. I mean, that's how it is in America. That's how it is. Welcome to America. Enjoy enjoy that small studio apartment and that subcompact that's a Ford Focus probably, because that's what life's like in America, people. That's what it's like. It's depressing. It makes you all depressed and shit, but you know what? That's what life in America is like. And if you don't want to be caught up in the scam, go to something like trade school. Like trade school, for example. That's a better option. Or maybe if you're in the computer field, rack up some certifications. Go into open source. Make a name for yourself. Just remember, be as apolitical as possible if you do get into an open source field. Because the last thing you want is a shitstorm over an employee being fired from your friend who's an employee of a company being fired. That's the last thing you want. Because that's the thing. Go to trade school, chances are you'll be more likely to get a good paying job. I mean, sure, the media shits all over blue collar jobs. I mean, they get looked down on. But you know what? When you have to call an electrician, when you have to get somebody to fix that Toyota Prius, who's gonna fix it? Exactly. That's all that needs to be said. Fuck college. Don't waste your money on that shit. And fuck everything that college culture stands for. Fuck it. Just fuck it all. I'm not gonna be a part of that stuff. I'm just not. And I'm serious about this. I'm probably not going back to college at this rate. Because here's the thing. I don't want to get forced into all this bullshit. I just want a job. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more.